This is the Illusion reporting from Malibu, California. Somewhere on spaceship Earth. Just got back from a big weekend in San Clemente, where I went and visited my buddy Pat Huber, who's the marketing director for Rainbow Sandals. I went down there with the general, picked him up from the airport Friday night, and we boogied down there. It's my first overnight trip out of Malibu since I woke up and got my frequency level high, so it was nice to take it on the road and see what happened, man. So we pulled down there. We were going down to San Clemente to check out the Battle of the Paddle, which is a giant paddleboard racing event that lasts 2 days. Yeah. If you haven't totally caught up with what was going on, there was a point earlier when I started making these videos where I was pretty jammed up and in total resistance and also in judgment of paddleboarders. And kind of you guys saw in these videos, I sort of overcame that resistance and judgment to paddleboarders and basically realized that they were fellow spiritual beings going through their journey, enjoying the dream in their own special and unique way. And who the fuck was I to judge what they're doing? And because I stopped judging them, I stopped really having them be an issue with me out in the water surfing. So to be going down to this main event that my bro puts on every year was kind of classic. But before we get to that, I went out with him and the bros to the bars. You know, I don't drink or anything, so I just went out with the boys to Spock hot chicks and, you know, try to make that love connection. Anyway, dude, truthfully, nah, I ain't even gonna say it. But anyway, it was like the third or fourth bar, and I'm passing through the crowd of the bar, and these three bros, man, are like, "Are you the Illusion?" And I go, "Yeah," and they get all stoked, man. And they're like, "Can we take some photos with you? We follow your whole thing. We're big skateboarders, man. We love the whole deal." And I'm like, wow, right on. And the general who I'm cruising with, man, he loves my whole gig, but it really hasn't clicked with him what's going on with you guys out there. And he was tripped out that like I said, I haven't left Malibu in like 2 years and I've never been to San Clemente. Okay? Just to be clear. Never been to this town. And these three skateboarding bros are like, "Dude, you're the Illusion. Can we get some pictures with you?" So I go start talking to these dudes. And they're like, "Hey, man," like the one guy, Steve, he's like, "Hey, man, I'm a filmer for Birdhouse. And I'm making these tip videos. Can we have the Illusion do one?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, I don't know if I got any trick tips except slamming and high speed grinds, man. You know, I'm like a high speed concrete carver, dude. You know, I can boost over the hips. I can do all your basics, dude, but I don't have any sort of like trickery." And he's like, "Come on, man, you got something." And I go, "Well, I could do the slam." You know, so I've perfected the slam pretty heavily. I'm still moving pretty good at 42. And he's like, "Nah, you know," and I was like, "You know what? How about we do a hill bombing thing, man? Hill bombing's pretty much the gnarliest trick in all of skateboarding, man." And he's like, "Okay, dude." He's like, "I'll call you tomorrow, man." I give him my numbers and like, whatever. So then I go down to this paddle battle thing. And I get to hang. You have to understand, I used to be the leader of the opposition to paddleboarding. But now I'm in the judging stands with the general who's leading the whole thing and my other buddy, Pat Huber, who's putting on the whole event. And I'm sitting there watching the deal. And I loved it. There was like 1,000 plus paddleboarders. It was basically the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen as far as the ocean's concerned. But you know, it was cool. It was people having high frequencies, man. People enjoying the dream. People getting together and having a good time. And because I vibrated a higher frequency, I was able just to stand back and watch it go down. And it was truly a rad experience because I didn't put any judgment on it. I didn't assume I knew anything about these people. I just watched these people having a good time, and they did, and therefore I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed the whole event. So yeah, you paddleboard haters out there, I get it, but get over it already, dude. Just get over it. They're not going anywhere, dude. I saw it all this weekend. They're here to stay, dude. They are here to stay. Anyway, so whatever. I had a blast down at this thing, dude, and we went and did the Saturday night thing, and you know, mayhem and chaos and the whole deal. And then Sunday, Steve and George came and picked me up. And I was down in Dana Point, and they're like, all right, man, let's go bomb some hills, dude. And they took me up to this crazy-ass hill, and I eyed it, and I got in the now, and I bombed it, man. Never seen this hill in my life, and it was kind of heavy, kind of sketchy. Had, like, the super smooth hill, but, like, you know, cross streets and, like, a big giant, like, what do you call those, the circles of the street that I had to negotiate at the bottom, and then a transition from smooth concrete to like really rough concrete. So it was like that jerk, like you're mocking and all of a sudden you, so I did it, man. These guys filmed it. I did my trick tips. I don't know. Look for it out there. I don't know where it's coming and how it's entering cyberspace or what he's doing with it, but I signed a release. Dude, these kids offered to pay me money, man. I was like, dude, I'm not doing this for money. I'm just stoked to be with you guys, man. You guys just increased my frequency and made my whole trip to San Clemente worthwhile, man. And, you know, I just want to give a big shout out to Steve and George and the other bro I met. I forgot your name, dude. They were cool as fuck. Hospitality took me to some cool hills, man. I got to do some skateboarding down there and bomb. Badass hill, dude. It was pretty heavy, dude. You know, I was pretty stoked on it. You know, it wasn't like the super sketchy hill. It was like a 7 in the sketch rating. It was like a 7. And yeah, dude, and then I went and watched the paddle battle and then went out with the boys. And I just met a lot of cool people this weekend, man. And it was all because I was vibrating at a high frequency and had absolutely no judgment about anything and what anyone was doing. I met sort of an alternate universe version of me, this cat Paul, dude. He's pretty funny, man. I think at some point, man, we're going to get brought back together in the dream to do something crazy. And I met a lot of other cool people, dude. Dude, I was hanging out on the judging platform with the manager of the Etney skate park, Scott, dude. Man, we had a good time talking about skateboarding and the Stoke and what was going on with the whole deal. So a big shout out to Scott. A big shout out to Pat Huber for putting on the Battle of the Paddle, dude. It's the most ridiculous, insane event I think I've ever watched involving ocean activities. Truly was entertaining. And I also want to give a shout out to the General for inviting me down for this weekend fun and let me be the driver and he be the co-pilot. Man, that was cool. And I want to give a big shout out, a huge shout out to my fellow high frequency skateboarders, Steve and George. Man, thank you, bros. Just thank you for picking me up and taking me to that hill, man. You know, that's a memory that's always going to last, man. And that's what the dream's all about, people, man. You put a high frequency out, man, it comes back to you tenfold. And I hope I'm giving you guys some stoke out there, man. I get some hits and notes every now and then through Facebook and through here that you guys are stoked. So I'm stoked. You're stoked. You guys are making me stoked. So if I'm making you stoked, we're all winning in this crazy thing called life, man. I'm just absolutely ecstatic, man, that I got to meet a bunch of random bros and just vibrate on a high frequency, man. Hope everyone's dreams going really good out there.